Welcome back everyone to a series where I turn your ideas into brand new Pokemon. In today's episode, we will see a bit of everything. We have a new Mega, a new evolution for an existing Pokemon, and of course, a completely new Fakemon, never seen before. There is also a special announcement halfway through the video, so stay tuned, I'm very excited. Anyway, let's get started. There's a particular design that I promised a few videos ago, so I think it's only fair to start with it. You've all waited long enough for this. Of course, I'm talking about Mega Flygon, as requested by, well, a lot of you. Some of you even wanted to be a bug and dragon type. I wasn't too sure what to do with the design. It's much easier to design something if you have some kind of theme, but Mega Evolutions normally don't evolve the concept much further. They normally just exaggerate certain features, like how with Slowbro, a shell is biting its tail. Well, it's Mega, it's just eating more of it. Or Manectric, which is a lightning dog. Well, its Mega just gave its body a more lightning shape. Some can look very goofy, like the ones I mentioned a second ago, but some other ones make a cooler version of the original design, like Mega Beedrill. Anyway, in the end, I just decided to make a cool looking design. I wanted it to look more sleek, super fast looking, so I made its body thinner. I also gave it an extra pair of wings, slightly imitating the shape of the tip of its tail in the original design. And as many of you wanted it to be a bug and dragon, I made its body parts a little more segmented. I also gave it this fluff around its neck, as many bugs have this. Flygon is based on an ant lion, which doesn't have this fluff. However, it does have the word lion in it, so I think it's fitting for it to have a fluffy mane. This mane also gives it a more pilot look, resembling an old pilot jacket. This was quite challenging as I'm not used to making Megas, but I really enjoyed it, so I hope you like the final result. Meet Mega Flygon, the mystic Pokemon. Yes, that's Flygon's actual category, I don't know why. Thanks to the power of the Mega Bracelet and the Flygonite, Flygon is able to awaken its dormant genes of an ancient past, turning into a much faster Pokemon while also obtaining the bug type. As for its ability, I went with Compound Eyes. It's an ability exclusive to bug types, and now that it's gained the type, I think that's quite fitting. It makes the accuracy of its moves go up by 30%, so now moves like Dragon Rush should be viable. Stat wise, just like all Mega Evolutions, it gets 100 extra stats. I really wanted to enhance its speed, so I gave it 155 speed, slightly above Mega Alakazam and Mega Aerodactyl, making it the fastest Mega. Also, now having bug type and such immense speed, U-turn will be quite a problem with this Pokemon. As for its offenses, it used to be a bit of a mixed attacker with slightly higher attack, but I didn't really excel in any of them. But not anymore. I gave it a whooping 160 attack, so it's quite the menace. For our next design, we actually had a few viewers asking for something different, but somehow they all worked well together. So I ended up making a new evolution for Scyther. But this evolution was affected by the mushroom parasite that Parasitic has. When designing it, I wanted it to look really creepy. The parasite has taken control of Scyther, making it go berserk like some kind of zombie. Of course, I had to add the mushroom somewhere, so I placed it on its head to cover its face a bit, enhancing the creepy vibes. I also based it on the stick insect. I imagined Parasite travelling through its body and deforming it in order to get this shape, and this will also be relevant for its hidden ability when we get there. Meet Parasitor, a bug and grass type Pokemon. When Scyther is affected by Parasitic mushroom, it will evolve into this brand new form. Parasite is constantly consuming its own body, so it needs constant ingestion of nutrients to not collapse. This makes it go into a berserk mode, where it's constantly hunting other Pokemon. As for its abilities, I kept Swarm and Technician from Scyther. I was thinking in giving it at least one of Parasite's abilities, but they're so bad it just wasn't worth it. Like, why would I want this Pokemon to have an 8-time weakness to fire with dry skin? So instead of that, I went with Innards Out. I've seen some nasty videos in the past where Mantis with a parasite inside, and once it was killed, the parasite started flowing out of it. So I'm imagining that once you defeat Parasitor, the parasite will flow out to hit the opponent in a last attempt to survive. Stat wise, I made it slightly faster than Scyther, as now its body is lighter and high attack, but not as high as Scissor or Cleaver. Next, these viewers want me to do a Snowman Fakemon. I already made one some time ago, but I never got to show it until now. It's a bit of a weird concept, and even weirder design, but I hope you like it. The idea came from the concept of brain freeze. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's a brief, intense headache triggered by rapidly consuming cold food or drinks. So yeah, The idea is for this snowman creature to be so intelligent and with such a massive brain that it actually pops out of its skull. Due to it being exposed, it freezes around it to protect it, but this often gives it a headache. The shape of the eyes would also make it look like a derby hat. Meet Frostache, a nice and psychic type Pokemon. It's so intelligent that its brain keeps growing non-stop, to the point where it pops out of its skull, leaving this Pokemon with no choice but to cover it with ice. However, this often leaves it with brain freezes. While the first stage doesn't look much like a snowman, this is more clear with the evolution. Snowmen often have some kind of hat, so I also wanted each stage to represent a type of elegant hat. The first stage looked more like a derby, and with this evolution I made it look like a top hat. When giving it a pose, I wanted to show it having its headaches as I didn't do it in the first stage. Meet No Rhyme. Its constant headache makes this Pokemon not be able to properly control its psychic powers, making it a little unstable and dangerous even though it's not its intention. For its abilities, I went with Slush Rush. If we look at its feet, it has a beast-like design, as it's also inspired by the Yeti, so imagine it feels comfortable walking in the snow. I also gave it Telepathy, as it's super intelligent psychic Pokemon. I think that's quite fitting for it. And for its hidden ability, I went with Snow Warning. This Pokemon would want the environment to stay cold so that its hat doesn't melt and expose its brain. And now for its third stage. As I was going with this elegant hat motif, I wanted it to look elegant, still keeping the snowman theme. Its nose now becomes pointy, like a carrot, and it has a walking stick to look more like a gentleman. This stick, however, is actually its nose, which often grows too long, so it snaps it and uses it to help it keep balance, as its brain is so big and heavy now. Now, I know some of you watch One Piece, so this probably reminds you of a certain character. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I sketched this before Vegapunk was revealed, so it's quite a fun coincidence. I definitely know what I would nickname it if it were real. Anyway, meet Cerebrisk, the brain freeze Pokemon. While in early stages it suffered of constant brain freezes, it has now mastered its psychic powers to such a degree that can prevent its brain from suffering from the cold. Stat-wise, with a big brain like that, it needs to have a really high special attack. I also made it quite slow. Can't be easy walking with a massive block of ice on your head, but with its Slush Rush ability, it can compensate for it. Its special defense is also pretty good. Most psychic and ice Pokemon have a good special defense, and while its physical defense is lacking a bit, if you choose to go with Snow Warning as its ability, its defense will go up, so depending on what direction you go, you can make a decently tanky Pokemon with a really high special attack or a glass cannon. So the time has come for my special announcement. I started this channel over a year ago, but only in the last 2 months have I really started to go all in. I've been grinding non-stop, except for that Silk Song week. But anyway, yeah, I've been grinding non-stop in order to give you as many designs as possible from your requests. However, this takes away time from my work, and it's quite hard to juggle the videos and commissions, especially considering that my videos still aren't monetized. However, I finally reached enough watch hours to create members. So I'm happy to announce my membership plans. If you can't afford or don't feel like purchasing these memberships, that's completely fine. I appreciate you just watching and sharing the videos. But for those of you that want to go the extra step to help this channel exist, I created these memberships. For now, I only created 2 tiers, as I'm still figuring all of this out. But with time, I'll probably add more if I see the need or possibility for extra perks. So right now, we have the Youngster tier and the Ace Trainer tier. The Youngster tier is the cheapest one. It's quite simple. You get to use some unique emojis from this channel, which I'll slowly add more as we grow, as well as getting your name credited at the end of my videos and getting priority when it comes to answering your comments. And for those of you who really want to go the extra mile to help the channel, I created the Ace Trainer tier. In this one, you will get a link to be able to download some of the designs that we've made in this channel, such as this Paradox Arceus, this Regional Mimikyu, and more. I'll post a link to Google Drive each month with the downloadable images, which will be posted for a month. So the more time you're subscribed, the more images you will be able to get. You can use these images to create stickers or whatever you want for personal use. And there's one more image that you will get. I really think you will like it. I created this Cyndaquil wallpaper, so you will also get a link to this image. As I said, you can use it as a wallpaper for your phone, or you can even print it as a poster to hang on your room, like I did. Your choice. Anyway, this is all for my announcement. Big thanks to all of you who stayed to listen to me blabbering away, and hope you will consider becoming a member. No pressure though. So, now that we're done with that, let's get on with the final design of the day. Roaring Arts wants a camouflage Pokemon. Jack wants a grass type Sloth, and Raymama wants a grass and fire sloth. Many of you have probably seen this design already, as it was a commission for Pokédex fillers, and it's quite fitting with what these viewers want. So, the idea is to create a guerrilla warfare sloth. You see, sloths have green algae grow on them, which allows it to camouflage in trees. So the idea is to create a sloth that has an explosive pine cone grow from its head and it throws it towards its enemies. Meet Slaboom. This grass and fire type Pokemon has a pine cone growing from its head. However, every now and then it grows too much, so it has to throw it away as it's actually explosive. Due to the destructive nature, many Pokemon try to take it out as it disrupts their habitat, but it's so good at camouflaging that they can't seem to find it. For its abilities, I went with Harvest, as its pinecone grows really fast, so I would imagine berries would as well. And for its hidden ability, I went with Aftermath, quite fitting for a Pokemon with a grenade on its head. And for the final design of the day, we have its evolution. I wanted it to wield a tree trunk to use as a grenade launcher. Like this, it has better aim and reach. Just like the first stage, its fur has patterns that reminds us of a soldier's camouflage uniform. And I also added a helmet made out of fruit shell. Of course, for its face, I gave it a deranged expression. I really like it when it looks unhinged. Meet Lazuka, the gorilla Pokemon. With time, it's gained so many enemies that it had no choice but to upgrade its arsenal, picking up a tree trunk that it uses to improve its aim and reach. It throws powerful explosive pine cones. However, if the enemy gets too close when getting hit, Lazuka might get caught up in the explosion, so it always tries not to be seen and taking the enemy out in one hit. Stat-wise, it has good special attack and HP. The reason for the high HP is so that it can survive if it gets caught by its explosion using its signature move, Boom Tube, a move with 160 damage that needs a turn to charge. If it's hit before attacking, it will receive 50% recall. So yeah, it will need good HP to survive the recoil, and with Harvest as an ability, gives it a bit more survivability. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's designs, and don't forget to become a member if you want to help support the channel. See you in the next one, bye!